never be a real VTuber. You have no model. You have no rigging. You have no talent. You are a freakish V-tweeter, twisted by drugs and laziness into a crude mockery of Chuba perfection. All the likes and retweets you get are two-faced and half-hearted. Behind your back, your followers mock you. Your online friends laugh at your perpetual pre-debut status behind closed doors. Longtime VTuber fans are utterly repulsed by you. Thousands of years of evolution have allowed weebs to sniff out tourists and antis with incredible efficiency. Even VTubers who pass look generic and unappealing to a weeb. Your Twitter bio is a dead giveaway. And even if you manage to get drunk on stream and do something remotely funny, he'll turn tail in both the second he gets a peek at your anti-lolly tweets. You will never be happy. You wrench out a fake smile every single stream and tell yourself it's going to be okay. But deep inside, you can't help but feel the depression creeping up as the lack of social media engagement dwindles down to nothing but hatred for what you have become. Eventually, it'll be too much to bear, and you'll have an unused $9,000 model, unused $3,000 rig, an unwatched debut trailer, and no friends to cry to. Your parents will find you, heartbroken, but relieved that they will no longer have to live with the unbearable shame and disappointment of living with an always online Twitter freak. They'll take away your Wi-Fi privileges, make you get a job, make you sell your model to someone worth a damn. Your Twitter will decay and fade into obscurity, and all that will remain of your legacy is a Twitter history that is unmistakably retarded. This is your fate. This is what you chose. There is no turning back.
Oh, chat. I can never get tired of this one. I am back, and it felt like a year, even though it's been just a month or so since I last did anything with anything related to streaming. But I had a good break, and it was kind of a productive break, if you want to call it that. It was certainly productive during this week, this year's Anime Expo. I also wanted to go to Otakon, but a Mexican at the border control in Los Angeles told me to get the fuck out of the States before before July was over. So I had to obey Antonio from Mexico. Unfortunately, Antonio could not be negotiated with, and told me to get the fuck out of his quote-unquote country by the end of July. And here I am, back where I belong, in my trash heap. So that Antonio won't chase me with ice or whatever. I don't know what they sent after people that have been too long in the United States. I'm guessing it's ice or something like that, or maybe something lesser because I'm a less of an offender. But since I'm already talking about it, and this stream is all about Anime Expo and the trip to Los Angeles is a huge part of it, I'll just have to say that. Those fucking lines at the border control for non-citizens, I tell you, the LA ones are usually the worst ones. The ones in New York, that's biscuits compared to what LA has in store. I think I was in line for like 2 hours only to get singled out of thousands of people that were also waiting in front of me and behind me. For a long screening, and that goes very badly usually if the controller over there doesn't fucking like you, and he didn't like me. Antonio from what I think is Mexico didn't like me, and he could have gone and done much worse. He could have just turned me away at the border, but didn't. Just told me to get the fuck out within a month. So. Antonio, whatever your last name was, I don't know. Probably Rodriguez. Because why not? Thank you for admitting me to your quote-unquote glorious country, so I could enjoy some anime together with VTubers. There's been a lot of VTubers at Anime Expo this year. And that aside, Anime Expo this year, probably the most fun I've had at Anime Expo, like in general. I've been to 4 Anime Expos in my lifetime. First time in 2018, then a couple of years going forward until the pandemic struck, and then I just couldn't go. And then the restrictions, and the restrictions on Anime Expo were very, very strict. I'd even call them a little bit unnecessary in some parts, but you know, it is what it is. I didn't go to that one as well, so this is my first year back at Anime Expo, and I had fun. Believe it or not, I had fun at Anime Expo, and a lot of people do not have fun at Anime Expo. It has been dubbed the Line Con. Why is it dubbed Line Con? Well, because you have to wait in line to get in for a very long time. Even if you place yourself in line very early in the morning, you still have to kind of wait for things to move along. And even as you go in, there's still huge crowds, and you usually just end up going in a line anyway. Only when you get into the halls, only when you get into the larger halls of everything, the exhibit hall, Kentia hall, whatever have you, you can be rid of some lines, but then again, on some busier days, you're still gonna go in line. So it's kind of hard to stop by, talk to people. You just have to usually go out of your way to, I don't know, find a very quiet corner, or go to one of those pop-up restaurants that they have over there. And sit down if you can actually sit down, talk with people, and only then can you actually, take a little breather, maybe take some cosplay photos. Cosplay photos usually taken in the South Hall, because that's like one of the biggest open spaces near the entrance. But again, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself on everything, because I have a schedule. I have a schedule here to keep, and I want to talk about a lot of things, and we can banter about all that random stuff at the end of it, or maybe a little bit during some downtime during the stream. But let me put some background music up, which we probably won't be listening to much, because there's going to be a lot of video files that I'm going to be playing, and they're going to be kind of loud, so they're going to be squelching the music anyway, so be aware of that. Okay, this is probably good enough as far as the loudness goes. It just needs to be a little bit quiet. But yeah, let me follow the chat along just a little bit, because I see people talking about it. AX is like Disneyland. You need to plan out your entire day beforehand. Yeah, that's usually true when you're a normal attendant. I wasn't a normal attendant, and I have to be real with you here, chat. I wouldn't probably like to attend Anime Expo if I was just a normal attendant, like buying a 4-day badge or anything like that. I would only attend Anime Expo if I was press and industry, and I can get both of these passes. And since industry usually has better bang for your buck, I usually choose to be industry during this year's convention, and gives you access to a lot of privileges, including going to a completely different entrance that's reserved for exhibitors, press, and other industry people. Excuse me. And those lines are usually non-existent, and you just can get in right away. No waiting time. You get your own lobby, which you guys are gonna see, because I have a small video to showcase what that lobby actually looks like. And it's actually a lot bigger than it was in the previous years. So Anime Expo has grown exponentially in terms of who it houses and how many people it can keep at one time. Even in the industry spaces, even in the quote-unquote privileged spaces, as I would like to call them. But I'll explain all of that as we go along, because industry is a big part of the VTubing scene, of course. And you have to understand that VTubers from Anime Expo to Anime Expo have been making a much bigger impact every single year. VTubers, if I would estimate, have been like at least 15 to 20% of the content that in terms of how much area and space it takes up during the convention. So it's quite a lot. Taking up to 15% of all of it is pretty big. And considering Hololive, sorry, I have to cough. I'm back from my 6th COVID, by the way, so there's still a little bit of leftover in there. But yeah, 15% is quite freaking huge when it comes to a huge convention like this, especially one that's industry focused. This tells you that the industry is opening up more and more towards VTubers, and VTubers are starting to make profit that keeps being of interest to a lot of people with influence and a lot of people with big money on the line. And you probably have seen that in even in the recent happenings. If in case some of you don't know, the Brave Group has bought up Idol, previously owned by an Israeli company, now owned by Brave USA. And Brave USA is one of those interests that wants to get into VTubing, and they already are in it. They own a lot of subsidiaries that are VTuber related. There's, for example, V4 Mirai, and there's some other groups there as well, which I forgot the names of, but Brave Group is one of those, and they have direct ties, almost direct ties to Bandai Namco. And you know how big of a company Bandai Namco is. A big game developer, big game publisher as well. And not only that, because they don't just do games. They get invested in anime, invested in manga as well. Plenty of different avenues for publishing there. So you have to understand that VTubing might just get a lot more gayer if you want to be blackpilled about it. Or maybe, you know, VTubers will get an even bigger piece of the pie when it comes to the entertainment industry, you know, the wider entertainment industry, because people with capital are starting to notice, and it's gonna go places. Where is it gonna go? I have no idea. That the fact that it's gonna get gayer was just a joke. I have no idea how it's gonna go, but whenever people whenever bigwigs get invested in something, especially people with money, they're going to be people that are very disconnected from the thing they want to promote, and they will be counting on third parties to, you know, get the businesses going. In this case, Brave Group, I think they kind of know what they're doing for the most part, but there are going to be other investors there that might not be so in the know about all of this, so it may turn into a disaster. But at the forefront of all of that is, well, I don't know that for a fact, but that particular person is very invested in making sure that VTubing is growing much larger in the West. And who I'm talking about here? Well, I'm talking about the Gunrun, the CEO of VShoujo. He's one of those people that's very invested in making sure that the VTubing grows in the West. And so I guess whatever happens in the future, you can passively thank VShoujo for that. You can thank the Gunrun for that, because he's in the talks with a lot of these people. And he knows that all of that is like on the horizon. And how do I know that? Because I've heard Gunrun speak about it during the convention. So I've got first-hand knowledge of that, which is, you know, fun. It's fun to have insider knowledge about that sort of stuff. Of course, he had to keep a lot of names under wraps. He didn't want to reveal all that much information about who these people are gonna be. But the fact stands that again, there's gonna be a lot more money invested into VTubing, into Western VTubing, and that will result in a lot of new groups popping up. And maybe some of the smaller companies are gonna get bought up eventually if they're competent enough, if they're profitable enough by those interest groups. Investors are gonna come in, and they might just make things gay, as I said. But we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Again, I don't want to be too black-pilled about it because that's not my intention. Because there might be some competent people in there that will bring about a new renaissance into Western VTubing. I don't think Fishman would sell, personally. I think Fishman is happy the way Fishman runs his company. But who knows? Idol sold out to Brave Group, so considering Fishman's business acumen, I don't know. I know he's doing his best to keep to keep Face Connect profitable. But if you know Face Connect's history, it's never been that black and white with everything. There have been some rough spots within the company, and if you ever heard, especially Pippa and Dizzy talk about this, the first year of Face Connect's operations was a little bit disastrous, and only competent managers kind of saved it. But again, I'm getting a little bit too ahead of myself. This was supposed to be an AX stream, and I'm going on a tangent. As interesting as that tangent is, we'll have to stop there. If you want to know more about Face Connect's first operating years, you can watch. I think that was on Dizzy's channel, like where Pippa and Dizzy talk out of character about the company and the first few turbulent years. You can go watch that later. But for right now, let's just focus on the meat of potatoes of the stream, and that is, of course, Anime Expo. And I divided today's stream into a few parts that are gonna kind of mesh with one another, because the chronology might be just a little bit all over the place. My photos personally are in order, but how things were happening and how I'm gonna switch from topic to topic is gonna be a little out of chronology, so we'll have to kind of deal with that. So the first thing I want to talk about is, of course, VTubers at AX and how much there was to see, what you could experience at Anime Expo in regards to VTubers this year. That's gonna go over a lot of the different halls that were available at Anime Expo. I'm gonna talk about concerts that were available there. I'm gonna show you a few videos that I took. A part of Nanachi's concert. I've been there for most of it. I had to go to a Hololive photo shoot that was about to start at that point, so I couldn't stay there for all of it as much as I would have liked. Of course, there were other Hololive VTubers having their own small miniature concert at the events, but I couldn't attend all of them because business is business. I wasn't there only to enjoy myself and take photos. I also had to take care of my own professional business, because I'm not VTuber cringe as an industry professional. I do something completely different for my job, so I had to take care of that, and I couldn't be present for most of the concert. But when I was free, I was able to take a lot of videos, and I was able to take a lot of photos, which is nice because, again, I enjoyed Anime Expo this year quite a bit, and that's partially thanks to VTubers, and the other part of it is thanks to Blue Archive. And that's why I will also focus a significant amount of this stream on Blue Archive and tell you how awesome of a present Blue Archive had during the stream. I wasn't buying hentai, but I was taking a look at what they had to offer this year. And I'm happy to announce that the 18 plus section at the artist hall was even bigger than it used to be last time. It was at least 3 times as big. And if you want to know if they sell cute and funny material, yes, they did. But this time around, I couldn't really photograph it because they were kind of uppity about that. So I respected their wishes and I didn't take photos of it. But you can easily take my word for it. There was still a lot of cute and funny stuff to buy. Probably even more than last year's, by my reckoning and by what I saw. The 18 plus section, very huge. At least 3 times as big since I last saw it the last time I went. So it's growing, and it's not going anywhere. Sure, it's it's divided by huge black curtains, and you can't go in there unless you have a special wristband signifying that you're 18 plus, which is good. Because there has been too many kids walking around during the convention. And even in the non-18 plus sections, there's too much ass and tits out for my liking. I think parents should be a lot more responsible when it comes to where they take their kids during the convention, because it's so easy to run into someone's ass or to run into someone's tits, whether it's 2D or 3D. It's a little bit too easy. So don't take your toddlers to the artist alley, because you're gonna see a lot of lewd drawings. They might not be 18 plus, but I certainly wouldn't take my kid if I had one into one of those. So parents who take your children to anime conventions, always be aware where you're going, because you might expose your children to something and you might awaken something within them that you will have to live for the rest of your life with. You don't want to expose your daughter to Fujo material and have her become a dirty Fujoshi going forward in her life. That's not something I wish for you. So be aware of that, parents. Prospective Anime Expo, Anime Convention visiting parents, do not take your children to artist alleys because there's too much ass and tits over there. That PSA over. I'll be showing you a lot of the booths, a lot of the artist booths. I taken a lot of pictures to showcase most of the booths I liked personally in terms of the art quality they produce, but also to showcase you how popular some VTuber prints are, how popular some keychains, stickers, whatever kind of VTuber merch you can think of was popular. And yeah, we're gonna go all over that. We're gonna cover that kind of VTuber stuff. We're gonna cover concerts, and I dedicated a special section for Nijisanji because Nijisanji was a part of a small controversy before AX even started, and I will do my best to explain away what actually happened and what I saw during the convention in regards to Nijisanji. Nijisanji's presence during the convention was once again negligible, both in terms of fans. I won't lie, I saw a few cosplayers. I've even been to a Nijisanji cosplay shoot. It was pretty small. But compared to something like Hololive, oh, you'll see a world of fucking difference. You will see, like, it's like heaven and earth, or heaven or hell in regards to Nijisanji and Hololive. Even V Shoujo and V for Mirai had a bigger presence than Nijisanji did during the convention. And I don't think I have to tell you that, Chad, but that is bad. Anime Expo is the industry-focused convention. This is where big companies go to promote themselves. And if this is the only thing that Nijisanji managed to master for the biggest anime manga related convention in the United States, then that tells me the company is just not invested in having Nijisanji and grow in the West like at all, or Nijisanji as a brand grow in the West in any kind of capacity. I just don't think they're interested. And they're showing during the convention, during the biggest anime convention in the West, is kind of, telling. You love to see it, or rather, you love not to see it because there wasn't much to see. I have to tell you, there wasn't really much to see in terms of Nijisanji stuff. But yeah, that's what I want to show you today. I have a few funny anecdotes that I'm going to be talking about as well that I've seen and I've heard during the convention. One of them is I don't know if you ever went to Anime Expo, but every year, like on the money, there's going to be a group of Christian preachers in front of the convention, usually telling you that you're going to hell for having fun. And this year, they had one guy that just went all fucking out. I wish I could have filmed most of his speech because it was so fucking funny and unhinged. But I will try to paraphrase what he said. I will try to paraphrase his arguments because that was fucking funny. That was fucking special. But yeah, let me get to the point because I've just been talking and I haven't been showing much. So first of all, this is AX 2024 map. As you can see, AX, very huge. I don't have my cursor up, so you'll have to kind of follow where I'm going with this as I explain it part by part. Avert your eyes to the big red thing called the exhibit hall. That's also connected to the South Hall lobby. This is where the main entrance to Anime Expo is. The South Hall lobby is also the place where most of singular cosplayers show off their stuff. Because that's the place where you can kind of walk freely. It's a little bit crowded for sure, but it's not as crowded as other places, especially the crossings. The crossings are pretty much just like a wave of people going back and forth all the time. You can't stop, or you're just gonna block traffic. There's so many people over there. So it was like that. So South Hall lobby. This was the place where you entered, and also where you got to actually take photos and videos of singular cosplayers. Connected to it is the exhibit hall. This is where the bigwigs of the industry, you got your publishers, video game publishers, anime manga publishers, light novel publishers. This is where all of these people showcase their stuff. And there wasn't much VTuber stuff over there, but there was still some presence of VTubers there, and I'm going to show you later. The biggest exhibit at the exhibit hall was of Atlas, believe it or not. Sega and Atlas actually had the biggest exhibit. I think the Atlas's exhibit took up like at least, I don't want to, guesstimate too much, but at least like 5% of the hall itself. It was pretty fucking huge. So if you're a fan of Atlas, be happy. Atlas had a very big presence at the exhibit hall. Below that, from the South Hall lobby, you take an escalator on the right side and go downstairs to the Kentia Hall. This is where the artist alley is and other exhibit hall. This is also the place where a lot of indie VTubers and smaller VTubers had meet and greets, including such fan favorites as Mari _en and some others. I took some videos of that, not of Mari because I missed that, unfortunately. I really would have. I would have had to stay there all day in order not to miss some people, so I just didn't have the opportunity to do so. But I did capture a few snippets of meet and greets there. And connected to that meet and greet place was also a VTuber merch shop. I don't know. I don't remember who organized that, but it could have been a joint thing by Bishoujo. I don't remember, but I will remember once I see it again. They were selling a lot of VTuber art prints there. Also a few standees, keychains, all of that good stuff. So Kentia Hall, Artist Alley exhibit hall. VTuber meet and greets for smaller and bigger indie VTubers took place there. The Artist Alley was jam-packed with all kinds of VTuber merch from singular artists. You can probably figure out that Hololive took up most of that stuff. I am kind of happy and a little bit amused to report that Nijisanji was once again negligible. There were a few Nijisanji focused booths here and there, but I really had to look hard for them, and I've seen all of the artist booths. Like, I went through all of them just to make sure I didn't miss a singular one. So once again, Nijisanji very negligible, even in the artist alley. What's funnier about the Artist Alley and Nijisanji's presence there is that I guess in order to sell your Nijisanji stuff better, a lot of the artists over there kind of mixed it in with Genshin Impact characters, because you know some of these male Nijisanji ENs, they kind of look like Genshin Impact characters. So I'm kind of guessing that's a marketing trick to, I don't know, I don't want to, you know, predict intent or anything like that, or assume that they did it on purpose in order to sell some stuff to Genshin fans that have no idea what Nijisanji EN is, or maybe they don't have much of an idea about their own favorite Genshin Impact characters. But Genshin Impact characters were very mixed in with Nijisanji and male livers, which I found very amusing because they couldn't sell them on their own. So yeah, that's how it was during the Artist Alley, and that's how people sold that stuff. Moving on from the Artist Alley, also the Artist Alley and exhibit hall had the 18+ section in the upper right corner, and it was pretty huge. Also some VTuber stuff in there. Cinder, if you know, the big indie VTuber, was very prominent at the 18+. I of course can't show it on stream because of obvious reasons. Don't want to get the stream shit canned or the channel in trouble. But Cinder, along with her friends, was a big part of the 18+ thing. So even VTubers are taking up a significant part of a smaller part of the convention. So that's good to see. Whatever you feel about LootTubers or what have you, whatever you feel about their content, they were still quite present. I did also see Cinder in person. Didn't talk to her, but she was out there in her cosplay, dressed as herself, as her VTuber self, and I have to give her props for walking around all day in that costume, because her tail is huge, and how it's attached to her body without her, with her balancing her body, I have no idea. But that tail is fucking huge, and I don't know how she balanced herself with it. Also, she wore heels, so that's even harder with the tail and stuff like that. So, props to her for enduring a very busy convention in that costume. And I do have respect for VTubers that, you know, show up as themselves in cosplay. That shows, a little bit more of extra effort that a lot of VTubers won't go through. But yeah, Cinder was there. There were a couple of other VTubers in there as well. I've met a few of them personally. I've talked to a few as well. I've talked to one that graduated not too long ago. I won't say who, but I can kind of hint at it, I guess. It was a very, very brown and cute and funny VTuber, and she graduated not too long ago. She's still kind of semi-active, but at some point, do look forward to her reappearing as another persona. That's what I can say for about now. So it was fun talking to a lot of them. Of course, they knew who I was, and it was still kind of weird. them having that knowledge and still being willing to talk to me about it. But it was fun. A lot of them are very very fun people to talk to. Very how would you even say that? A lot of them are very enthusiastic. I can say that much, and they do the work. I can say that they do the work. They put in the hours to make sure their VTuber content is as good as possible. So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed mingling with people. I enjoyed mingling with people that I actually watched before. It's fun to meet those people and shake their hands, thank them for all the fun content that they provided over the months and years. It's a wholesome experience, I can tell you that much. So yeah, VTuber meetings aside, the other main hall is the entertainment hall. This is where most of the VTuber concerts were. This is where Doki Bird held her meet and greets with people. This is also where Nijisanji had their exhibit. I wouldn't call it a booth because it's more of an exhibit thing. At booths, you can usually interact with stuff in a more active way. This was more of a walk in, observe a few minutes, and leave kind of thing. So an exhibit more than any kind of booth. So that's what they had over there. And also the main Hololive concerts were held there, and they were huge. Probably one of my favorite parts of the convention, because every single concert from every single Hololive and Holostars member, because Holostars was there as well, was included, and usually the area that was reserved for the concert was packed with people, to the point where they actually had to wrangle people within a small, like, square-shaped area, so they wouldn't kind of, seep into other lines, because there were so many people going through the Hololive concerts that the place was just getting packed and was so crowded. And you'll see that in a few videos they have to show. But yeah, that was the convention. And whenever I wasn't at the convention, I was at the industry lobby, just talking to people or just taking a break, enjoying the free water and AC. The industry lobby was pretty fucking fancy, and you'll see that as well. But yeah, map aside, I think I explained it pretty well enough. What's what and where was it? So let's go and see a few photos here and there. So let me just get them up, and then I'm gonna complement them with a few videos here and there that I recorded of the event. You've probably seen a few of those on my Twitter as I was live tweeting from the event. The internet was there was pretty good, so I could do it almost 1-to-1. Couldn't stream. The internet wasn't that good, and phone internet also not that stable. But yeah, let's get some photos up and see what I can tell you about each and single one of them, because I took a lot. You understand that I took a lot. Oh, here we go. According to name. All right. These photos are gonna be huge, so be ready for that. Let me just minimize them a little bit. I did not know that iPhone takes photos in such a huge resolution. But yeah, this is my industry pass. So in case some of you, I don't know, I don't think anyone here would accuse me of lying, but there's some people out there that would accuse me of lying. So here it is. Here's my industry pass. And again, I could get a press pass as well, but I prefer industry much better, because that opens up a lot more avenues to talk with people. Sometimes people don't want to talk to press because you don't know what's going to be written about you at the end of the day. So people are kind of antsy when they see someone from the press. But when you're part of the industry, people would gladly exchange their business cards with you, pretty much no matter who you are over there. But yeah, this is my industry pass. This is my super secret disguise for for Anime Expo. This very cool cyberpunk helmet. I didn't wear it all that much during the convention because it was very hot in some places, and that thing doesn't have much ventilation. So it's a very cool helmet. I can say that much. But other than that, wearing it in the heat is pretty much suicide. I have to think about something else in later years. This is the outside of Anime Expo, and unfortunately, you can see these black screens over there that were kind of dividing all of it from the cattle that didn't attend Anime Expo from the attendees and other people at the convention. This is the first time I've seen something like this at Anime Expo. Usually, you can just go through this area, and behind this is like I don't know what to call it, but there's like an rest area there, and people usually set up their booths there. In the previous years, there was a will call there. You could pick up your badges in that area. This year, the badge pickup was in a completely different place. So, kind of an ugly thing, I have to say. You walk past the convention, there's just these huge black screens, and you have to go further down this path to actually enter the convention. So, aesthetically speaking, not that good. I hope next year they won't have something like that because it kind of spoils the overall look of the convention as you go past it. But as you can see, down there in the back, a huge promotional poster for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. The game was huge at the convention. Everyone wanted to play it. I played it a little bit myself, and I think I'm gonna get it once it's released. I don't know if it's actually released yet. I haven't checked. But I don't think it is, but I will be getting it because it kind of impressed me. It was very fun. I liked it quite a bit. Inside the convention, of course, there's the famous or infamous cosplay is not consent sign. Of course, there's a parody of this that you can see on Twitter sometimes that says cosplay is consent. And that all cosplayers at the convention are secret prostitutes waiting to sleep with you. That's the parody that you see here. I do believe this is for Zenless Zero. This is a huge costume thing that like a guy could enter and kind of maneuver this around from the inside. I think there's even videos of a guy going inside there and kind of doing stuff with it. It was very fucking. Oh, this is for Nika. Okay, this is not for Zenless Zero. This is for Nika. So yeah, this thing was very cool. It's like over 2 meters tall. Very impressive. This is one of the Blue Archive exhibits that they had over there. Blue Archive had 2 exhibits. One of them, this is like part of one of them. This is where they had their small concerts with one of the composers for Blue Archive. He was there at the venue as well. People had a lot of fun with Blue Archive. You have to understand how much of a crowd there was always for Blue Archive stuff during convention. It's very cool to see that Blue Archive has had such a huge presence at Anime Expo this year. This is another part of it. You could join Blue Archive Discord and take part in special gift giveaways for attendees. There was like this whole bingo thing there that you could attend. And how that worked is you got a bingo card, and each square on the bingo card corresponded to a different event during the convention. And as you went through all of the different events, you filled out the bingo card, and the more hits you got on the bingo card, the more free merch you could get in the end of the day. I got a bingo. I got a bingo very easily because I attended like all of the Blue Archive events there, and I got a good set of merch. I've got a bag. I got a fan. I've got some keychains. What else did I get? I think I got a lanyard. I've got a lot of stuff, which I now have in my closet. Just gathering dust, but it was fun. Again, another look at it. The drawing events schedule. Coconut corn. This is another part of it. You could go in there and see all kinds of figures that they had lined up, and also the Blue Archive anime adaptation was playing on screens. To demonstrate that, let me show you a video of that, actually. You know, because photos are cool, but I think videos are even more fun, so let me get on that. Let's see, Blue Archive booth. Is this the one? Let's see. Very high quality figures, by the way. That Neru Bunny figure is so good. I need to get one for myself. There's of course Mutsuki. By the way, this was early in the morning. This booth was usually packed during the day, but so I went earlier to take some more some more photos and get easier access to it. So I'm lucky. I was able to get there on time and in a fashion that allowed me to take more photos. But let's continue. Let me actually get the rest of the photos up. And I hope they're not too big, because I think my OBS is giving me shit for the fact that the photos are a little bit too big. Let me move the dancing Aru here, since, you know, Blue Archive was a very huge part of the convention. Having a dancing Aru here, I think is very fitting. Let's see. There's more photos, but I don't know why OBS decided to, you know, no, I'm not gonna show more of your photos. I'm just gonna be a bitch about it. Let's see, how many can I show at once so OBS doesn't crap out? I think I can show this many. Oh, still 9? I don't know why it's doing this. Is this size restricted or something? Anyway, this is the escalator down to the South Hall. So I'll have to do these photo showcases in batches. Going into the exhibit hall, this is Furyu's whole section for Hololive. You could buy these very adorable bean plushies from Furyu. a few figures here and there also available. I really like this company selling bootleg stuff called In My Parents' Basement. Here's a few legally distinct Fumos. Of course, there's also an Nobeta one, which I also wanted to get, but I don't think she was available still. This is another of Blue Archive's booths. This one is in the entertainment hall. It was much bigger and a lot of it was very interactive, which I will show you right now. So hold up. Other Blue Archive thing. Okay, there's the second one. On your left here, you can see specially hired cosplayers playing games with the attendees. By playing these games, you got your bingo card stamped. So if you attended a particular event with this one was dice throwing, you needed to throw a particular number in order to get your badge stamp, to get your bingo card marked. Let me actually show you what that dice tossing event looked like. This is the line. Hold up. Dice. There it is. The dice rolling. So you had to roll against the cosplayers here. The attendees had the red die, whereas the cosplayers had the blue one. And the dude lost. You could take part as many times as you wanted. You just had to line up again. And the lines got kind of huge as well. So you ended up waiting quite a bit to try to win. But rolling a 1 is a little bit embarrassing. I was also at the Blue Archive. I wouldn't call it like a developer meetup. It was a whole. They had the whole event where you could attend with them, ask them questions, and they showcased how much the game changed over the years and how much they didn't expect for Blue Archive to blow up in the West as much as it did. But yeah, let me go back to the photos and we can go back to Blue Archive a little bit later. But for right now, I'm a little bit annoyed that my photos do not show up the way I want them to show up. So hold up. Let me do a little trick here and there. Hopefully this will work. I'm just gonna use another program to showcase the photos because they are too big and OBS has a problem with them for whatever reason. And I don't like that sort of thing. Hold up. Because it only lets me showcase 9 photos to you for whatever freaking reason. That sucks. And of course, a lot of them are oversized for whatever reason. Sorry, this is a little bit scuffed. But I'm guessing the image size in itself is the problem here. Hold up. There's the second Blue Archive exhibit. a lot of the merch that was available kind of got put up on the wall there for a lot of people to see. Very nice. I have to say, very nice. And again, I'm kind of jumping around here because this is pretty much the chronology I took the photos in. This is, again, this is the exhibit hall, where, again, V Shoujo, Hololive had their concert, Doki Bird had her huge meet and greet there as well, and this is also where the Nijisanji exhibit was placed. V Shoujo and V for Mirai had meet and greets in this place. I managed to take a small peek at part of Melody's stuff over there. And I do think I also have a video from that, so let me get on it. Hold up. Artline, Blue Archive, Crowds. As you can see, it's huge, and also Senpai Squad. Senpai Squad is always there when V-Shoujo is involved. They have this eternal collaboration, so wherever V-Shoujo is, you're gonna see Senpai Squad cars.
Yes. No. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. You sound great. I don't even know who it is. Oh, it's just the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July!
Melody had a little bit of sound scuff during this thing, which made her sound a little bit more like Marge Simpson. I don't know how that happened, but it was pretty amusing. But yeah, a very huge presence for V Shoujo and V for Mirai. The meet and greets attracted a lot of attention. Connected to that booth was a merch store, was like a merch booth, and you could buy V for Mirai stuff there along with V Shoujo stuff. Very cool. Another one. These are Furyu figures from the main hall. You can see there's the Ui figure, which is pretty cool. And again, a lot of these figure manufacturers are getting on the VTuber stuff. So Shigura Ui is also coming. Very high quality one too. But going forward, let's see what other things can I show you from that stuff. Kobo. This is the thing I was talking to you about, the booth attached to the merch store, just on the left side. So as you can see, V Shoujo and V4 Mirai attracting quite well. I wouldn't call it a big crowd, but behind me there were still a lot of people that went in and out of the store and out of the meet and greets. So a good showing for V Shoujo and V4 Mirai, that's for sure. Let's go back to the photos just a little bit. Again, scuffed because I can't have shit in Detroit, I guess. This is another Blue Archive figure collection that was available at Blue Archive's second booth. A few small standees. Things dedicated to Mika. Mika, quite popular. As you can probably understand if you're a Blue Archive fan. And again, let me get more photos up because this is getting on my nerves a little bit that I can't show you more at the same time. And I can only show you 9 at a time. For whatever fucking reason. There's another photo of the meet and greet with Melody and Nigo. Right next to it, there's the Hololive World Tour concert stuff. With some of the members representing. This is from the Weisschwarz Hololive collaboration promo. This was available in the biggest hall, the exhibit hall that had the least VTuber staff in it, but the Weisschwarz staff was very prominent, and let me show you why. There was so many people during the Weisschwarz thing. Hold up. Let me get that up. Where did I put it? Should be somewhere in here. I hope I put it in here. Oh, there it is. There's the Bushiroad Weisschwarz collab with Hololive. And you can see how many people line up to get in on that.
Right now.
Being tall and having a selfie stick really helps at conventions. You can just go over people's heads like this. But yeah, this was the Weisschwarz Bushiroad booth. A lot of people were interested in that. I don't know how Weisschwarz actually plays. I've never played it, but Hololive did attract quite a bit crowd there. Pretty cool. Moving on. When you go out of the convention, you also see stuff like this, and Rick and Morty car. I had to take a picture of it because it's so fucking ridiculous. People have dubbed this the Morty blowjob car for obvious fucking reasons, and was just fucking driving around the convention with this thing. Promoting the new season, I imagine. I only started watching Rick and Morty this fucking summer, and it's kind of mid. So I don't know. That's how they decided to promote the new series. This is more figures. This one in particular was available in the artist alley. Some figure makers had their own booths there as well. A lot of exhibits for very good figures. This Iori figure in particular, very, very good. There's even a Holo figure. Of course, there's Miku's there. And what I spotted during the exhibit hall in the artist alley. This is the part I was talking to you about with the bigger and smaller indie VTubers having their own meet and greets. This is connected to that place. As you can also buy merch from this particular part. And here you have a rare sighting of Mari_en with her huge standee. And a smaller standee right below it. Someone bought the huge standee in a matter of like an hour after I took this photo, so the standee just went missing after that, unfortunately. I was eyeing it, seeing if I could buy it, but oh yeah, I think there's whiskey on the right. Yeah, there's whiskey on the right too. Almost missed her. I'm not sure who the one on the left is, but I think it's someone I know. Either way, let me show you what that whole place actually looked like. The video. Hold up. Where did I put it? Lobby. So yeah, this is the indie meet and greet part of this section of the artist alley. I managed to come in during Fefe's meet and greet. But I also took a few more videos of that part. I think there was a Koki meet and greet I managed to capture too. So let me show you that. There it is.
Recognize your voice. We've been in BC. Good to see you. I know you've been.
The way you lined up here is it goes all the way back over there and kind of circles the whole booth around until you get to this part where you could actually meet the VTubers on the screen. And as I was saying, taking your kids to the artist alley, kind of a danger zone, considering, like, just take a look at the posters behind these dudes. Would you be showing to your kids? I wouldn't. But yeah, be careful. Be careful where you go in terms of anime convention areas.
She said it. All the Olympians have had great hair, and it's true.
Good fashion.
There was meat during that meetup as well.
Now
I didn't even notice her because the guy was covering her.
I know what you look like. I know this guy is a joker. Hi, Kuri.
One more from this part, if I can find it. That is. Dice roll crowns. She rode. Is this the thing? Yeah, this was the thing. Okay. He had a lot of great prints to sell, a lot of cool posters. Amogus. As you can see, this whole section dedicated to bigger and smaller indies. But yeah, that's how it was during this part of things. So yes, smaller, bigger VTubers were able to showcase their stuff over there. Moving on. More photos, again showing these in batches because OBS is being very gay right now. There's some snuffy stuff, a lot of snuffy and Shy Lily stuff over there. The snuffy stuff wasn't selling very well, but the Shy Lily stuff was. People just kept buying and buying. All of the posters, all of the standees, all of the keychains available. Here's a Mint cosplayer I managed to find and take a picture of. Luckily, as I was actually going out during day one, very lucky to have found a Mint cosplayer. This is more artist alley stuff that I'm gonna be showcasing to you one by one. Again, a lot of art that I just enjoyed, and I decided to take photos of it. As I was saying, Hololive, a huge part of it. You can see how much Hololive merch there was there. Most of this person's booth was dedicated to Hololive. Keychains, stickers, prints. There's also some Dokibird stuff, some Mint stuff, some Suisei stuff from other people. Again, a lot of Hololive, a lot of Mint and Dokibird stuff as well. Dokibird stuff was all over the place. More Hololive stuff mixed in with some Genshin Impact art as well. Some style rail over there as well. Get more stuff in. This one particularly dedicated to Bishoujo. And so much stuff. This one's a little bit blurry. Again, a lot of cool art I got to take from these booths. This one was a mix of Hololive stuff, as well a lot of other popular anime, and also a little Blue Archive stuff as well. You know, to not say that Nijisanji wasn't represented in some way. You can see some Niji VTubers mixed in there as well. In some people's art booths. Okay, some more. I have so many photos and it only allows me to put 9 into it. I don't know why. See, there's Dokibird, there's Mint, Specora and her mom, there's Henya, there's Fuwamoko. How was Anime Expo for me this time? That was the best Anime Expo I experienced so far, and I've been to 4. And again, partially thanks to VTubers that made this Anime Expo actually so enjoyable. So again, thank you VTubers for existing. So you can, as you can see, even if you know, there's an artist drawing a lot of like miscellaneous anime stuff, you always found at least 1 or 2 prints of a Hololive VTuber there. This one was particularly really nice. An artist kind of emulating Clamp's art style. Really liked this one. I recommended this to a friend, and I think she bought a few prints from this person. Really great job at emulating Clamp's stuff. Very pretty. Let's get a few more. Again, Blue Archive, very prominent, as you can tell. Genshin Impact, of course, still super prominent. One of the reasons why I usually go to anime conventions or artist alleys, because I just want to appreciate really, really good art. And some of the people, especially at Anime Expo, are like the cream of the crop in terms of artists. Like, all of this stuff is so, so good. Super good stuff. That Frien and that Fern especially. Like this semi-realistic art style combined with anime as well. And I told you, they mixed in the Nijisanji and VTubers with Genshin Impact characters. I wasn't lying when I was saying that. It's just no kind of mixed in. Can't really tell unless you know. But they're just kind of mixed in there. Like, is it a Genshin Impact character or is it a Nijisanji Ian male liver? You just don't know. But yeah, this happened all the time. That's usually how it was sold. They just kind of mixed in within all the Genshin Impact stuff. And this wasn't the only booth that had that. Like the previous one that I showed you had that too. And you probably noticed Mint a lot more prominent ever since she came back. People were buying Mint left and right. See, there's Mint and Duckybird again. Fuwamoko on the right. Iron Mouse on the left too. There's Gura in the lower left. I wanted to buy this for my friend, but she already had one. It's a very nice hoodie. Kinda expensive though. Cute regardless. Okay, let's get a few more. Oh, let's see. And as I was saying, the level of art showcased in some of these booths, phenomenal. I tried to get the name of the artist in the shot as best as I could, but sometimes sometimes people just covered it and it just wasn't possible to take a shot. This one has that early 2000s, late 1990s anime aesthetic to it. Very cool looking. There's Gundam Wing, there's Inuyasha. Slayers, there's Sailor Moon. Very cool stuff. This one was super impressive to me as well. This particular Rebecca really impressed me there. And again, Hololive, very prominent at most of the booths that I've seen. And you've seen a lot of them so far. Some of you art enthusiasts probably know this person. I'm quite sure you know. You can probably tell by the breasts alone. I'll give you a few guesses who this is, but you're probably figure it out very easily just based on how they draw the breasts. So yeah, that wording for the parents was very, very apt. I am very surprised they let them do that in the non-18 plus section, especially the Iluru there. But yeah, and yeah, that's Magister. Very recognizable art style. I had to take a photo of this one because Bionicle in 2024. What the hell? Bionicle art? Okay, let's get more photos. Of course, these aren't all the booths. At the artist alley, this was just the ones that struck my fancy. Hold up. Showed you this one already. And just some VTubers always mixed in with all of these prints. Iron Mouse was especially quite frequent. Quite a frequent showing in a lot of these booths. See, there she is again. It's on the right side. How many keychains did I buy? I bought 3 and got 2 for free from the Blue Archive bingo. Again, not much of a big spender when it comes to conventions. I like to observe. I'm much less of a buyer. I'm more of an observer. I just like to appreciate. Okay, I showed you the signal. I think this is everything from this day. I took my time appreciating all of the art just by going there on another day. I covered like half of it on one day and the rest of it on another. So this is where it cuts off and it goes into a different thing from that point onward. Now let me show you a few other things I want to talk about. There's an Obake sighting, the Play Asia VTuber, Play Asia CEO VTuber. She had a huge banner advertising Play Asia just right at the entrance to the convention. So in terms of showing up, it's a very prominent showing for a VTuber like that. So I was happy to see her there, even in such a form. It was kind of surprised that they Asia got such a huge promotional poster there, but good on them. This is the Hololive cosplay meetup, where Yago was also in attendance. It was incredibly hot, especially in this part where I'm standing. So I had to get out of there or risk getting some kind of heat stroke, and a lot of people. And a lot of people had the same idea, and they really got out of there very, very fast. But the attendance for the Hololive cosplay shoot, tremendous, huge fucking crowd. See how many people are there? And that's not all of it. Huge showing for the Hololive cosplay event. And a suspicious, huge Gura plushie on the right side. There's more art stuff, but before I show you more art stuff, I want to show you another video. I want to show you the energy that you could experience during the cosplay event. Because man, oh man, people were enthusiastic. And you just have to listen to it. Hold up. There it is. He's there in the crowd. You can't really see him all that much, but he's there, and you can see how people are cheering. Huge. And let's play that again, just for the enthusiasm. It's kind of almost infectious. But I do have to say, this is probably one of the worst places to have a photo shoot because it was so stuffy and so hot in there, even during that patch of day. It was like 4 or 5 p.m. at that point. The sun was already going down, but was extremely hot in there. So the people in the crowd there are sweltering. Think of the smell. Just imagine the smell. So yeah, getting out of there was priority number 1. But other than that, awesome appearance from all of the Hololive fans. An awesome appearance from Yago as well. Yago was there for like a few seconds, which I don't blame him for. He would probably be ripped apart by enthusiastic Hololive fans, and it was also extremely hot in there, so at some point he would have suffocated, considering how many people were surrounding him. I don't blame him for leaving. Hold up. Let me get more photos up. Again, a little bit more art. More Hololive stuff. And more Hololive stuff. Hololive sweep everywhere. Again, very few Nijisanji stuff. And I'm not being picky. I'm not cherry picking these examples. I've been through all of the booths, and there was really very little Nijisanji stuff at all. Let's get some more photos up. Again, the remaining photos I have here are gonna be from all of the artist style stuff, and other than that, I'll still have a few videos to showcase. I am not surprised that Gura poster over there sold out. Just look at her. Look at that fucking art. So good. Just look at it. See Princess Gura. Just look at it. Look at how good it is. Sold out, frowny face. You should be happy it's sold out. God damn. Miscellaneous anime stuff. I like this one very much. The Xenoblade stuff here got a lot of my attention. Same artist. And there's always a Hololive VTuber mixed in somewhere. Ina was also a very good seller. Very prominent Hololive showing. Even one with demon dice on the left side. So cool. Let's get more photos up. Oh, by the way, this is actual. Then this is a booth of the original designer for Leah from Face Connect's VTuber model. This is their booth. As you can see, there's Leah on the left side. So very cool to see him here. I'm glad I remembered I took this photo. These holographic prints, I really like those as well. They had a nice sheen to them. And again, Hololive everywhere. You could not escape Hololive from the artist alley. Impossible. Whether it's keychains, whether it's prints, whether it's Dakimakuras, whether it's standees, Hololive everywhere. So good. So good to see them thrive. And even, you know, indie VTubers, you know, the emerging quote-unquote new VTubers in the form of Mint coming back and Ducky Bird coming back also had a lot of merch. This one was particularly high quality. That Dungeon Meshy one, that Freer one, and the Final Fantasy VII one in particular. Awesome posters. I would pay hundreds of those for those. Blue Archive, specific artist. But of course, there's a Gura mixed in just on the right with a huge fucking poster. And there's a Bidru as well. So, you know, the more the artists that are more aware of you know, what Hololive fans like are gonna be mixing in Blue Archive in there, because there's an overlap there. So if you're Blue Archive artist, you also will get some business doing Hololive stuff, of course. A lot of Blue Archive stuff here over there. That Hoshino and Plana. There's a Kayako there as well. There's some Honkai Star Rail. There's a Freeren. The Silver Wolf there too. So many good artists. And I told you, if there's an Nijisanji stuff there, it's not that much. This was a particular very good showing for Nijisanji with this artist. And have most of them on the left side. You know, whatever you say about Nijisanji talents, the current ones and some of the former ones, this is a very good art representation of them, at least. Very, very good. Let's see a few more. I think I still have a few more. I hope I do, at least. Let's see. Seen these ones already? This one's just very cute. I could not help myself. with this one. Very good Bleach and Soul Eater inspired posters emulating the manga volume covers from each particular series. Very cool. Let's get a few more. I think this is gonna be it for the photos. Okay, you've seen these, you've seen this. And yeah, I am surprised that they this didn't need to go into the 18+ section. I am very surprised that it didn't. But yeah, this is what I saw in terms of cool artists at the Anime Expo. But I still have a few more videos to go through. Of course, I promised you some of the stuff from the Hololive concerts, and I of course took a few snippets of that too. So let's watch that. But first, hold up. Where did I put it? Here's the Rio and Fuma concert. As you can see, there's always crowds for these concerts, either going in and out, but there's also the one on the right side with all of these people standing in a circle, already in a square formation. Sometimes in a circle if it's smaller. Yes, these are live concerts. These are all live concerts. Nothing pre-recorded, everything's live. And now, the main event for me, which I attended, a snippet from Nene's concert. You can see how big of a presence she has and how enthusiastic people were to see her. It's so good.
Everyone's faces are close.
Everyone's faces are close. Wow, big yellow.
This is the only small snippet of the concert I recorded, but it really shows how much enthusiasm and energy people have. And you can see how huge the crowd is as well. People had to be wrangled, again, as I was saying, in order, not to get the lines of people going in and out stuck. Because otherwise, there will be like a whole traffic jam because of Hololive fans.
Everyone, okay? Let's go.
Here we go.
おかげなわけないシャラ臭い中に嫉妬なんてないわけがないこれが目立てないからこそ許せない完璧じゃない君じゃ許せない自分も許せない彼よりも強い君彼も認めない誰もが信じ合うかけるまさに最強で無敵な愛なんて見当たらない一番星をやっと知ってる不愛想なんて見せちゃダメ
And yeah, that was the part of the concert I recorded. I also have a longer clip, like an 18-minute long one, but we're not going to be watching all of that. Already copyright disputes because of this, but I do not care. I wanted to show you how much energy Hololive and in particular Nene's husbands have. As you've seen, huge crowd, kind of, shoulder to shoulder with some people over there. Because there were so many people coming to it. I wish I saw other Hololive concerts, but I just didn't have the time to do so. But at least I'm glad I got Nene's one. And lastly, we have to get to the elephant in the room, a very small elephant, but an elephant nonetheless. Nijisanji's presence during the convention, and what was the controversy surrounding it? Well, you see, Nijisanji was scheduled to have its own separate concert at a big venue during Anime Expo, but the ticket sales there were not very good, and some people on Twitter have cited safety concerns because there was like one unhinged guy with a Lelouch from Code Geass anime profile on Twitter that said that they're gonna be harassing all Nijisanji fans no matter where they go. So the Niji sisters invented a narrative that they're just gonna get harassed left and right no matter where they show up during any kind of anime conventions. And this was one of the reasonings for Nijisanji bailing on the concert and just canceling it all outright. But here is the exclusive scoop, which isn't so much of a scoop. I had the chance to talk to the SPJA people over at Anime Expo, and if you don't know what the SPJA is, this is an organization, a non-profit that is responsible for all the things going on during Anime Expo. They vet all of the industry press attendees. They're responsible for all kinds of organizational things. And I had to ask. I got a very neutral, kind of non-committed answer to that question, but I got to talk with two people from the SPJA there. And I asked them this particular question. What was the reason for Nijisanji canceling their appearance during this year's Anime Expo? Both of these guys kind of looked at each other, like a little bit flabbergasted, maybe a little bit confused. One of them didn't know what this was all about, while the other kind of offhandedly said, wasn't it because of low ticket sales? Like, he asked that question like if it was directed towards me. So I kind of drilled them a little bit more and asked and explained the whole controversy to them that, safety concerns were cited on social media, especially on Twitter, due to, potential harassment towards the attendees and stuff like that. And I got an answer that they don't know. They just know about low ticket sales. So it's either these two guys just didn't know outright, or Nijisanji any caller just didn't tell them why they're bailing, which would be weird if they didn't tell them. So I just imagined that these two guys didn't know, and they just knew whatever I knew. So, but if it was, I particularly think if it was harassment concerns that they were worried about, they would be outright saying that, and there would be much better security at the Nijisanji exhibit, which we're gonna get in a moment. Because, that quote-unquote increased security wasn't really there. The booth was kind of empty, and there was a few... I wouldn't even call them security people, just people... I don't want to call them janitors, but just some staffers over there watching over the exhibit. I wouldn't really call them security because they didn't look like they'd be able to keep anything secure. So yeah, the exhibit hall. Let me show you the exhibit hall. But first, let me show you how Doki Bird's meet and greet went. Well, one of the few meet and greets that she had. The Doki Bird exhibit, by the way, just left of the Nijisanji exhibit. Like you walked a few steps and there was the Nijisanji exhibit from that place. Let's take a look at Doki Bird. Part of her meet and greet, at least.
Back then when I like
the Doki Bird meet and greet was so packed, I had trouble even getting to the front, so I had to film it from this very bad angle. So that's on me, but I also didn't want to push my way through people because it was already very packed in there, and it was just cause disorder if I did that.
Was obsessed with certain kinds of anime, and like, you know, it comes out ever so often.
See, a lot of people just packed in there.
Because like even though I like lock her in the closet and like be like, you can't come out, we moved on from this, his past of ours. Sometimes she shows up ever so often, and so you might know this part of Doki as the Fujo Doki. And I locked her up in that closet, but sometimes she can break free. So, fuck, okay. Alright, let me tell you a funny story. I don't remember, I think I told this story before. But, in around high school, oh my gosh, that was so bad. So bad. You guys are like, oh, I know exactly which parent she's talking about, and she doesn't want.
So yeah, the height people and the I buy power people were very kind to Doki Bird to give her this opportunity. And with that said, there's another thing I have to show you is the anime themed PC that was also over there. They showcased some Hololive adjacent games there as well. You could play Idol Showdown on this anime themed PC. Just look at it. Having showed you that, it's time to get into something negligible, which is the Nijisanji exhibit. Witness it in all of its unimpressive form. And there was another small controversy surrounding this exhibit because they were supposed to showcase statues starting day one. They had huge statues of a few of the livers there. But they just didn't arrive on time, which is very, very freaking weird to me. That, you know, Nijisanji's Anycolor's logistics kind of failed on that part, and they just didn't manage to deliver these statues on time to showcase them. So I had to return another day and film it once more. But first, the day one where the statues weren't there. There was a monitor at the front that just showcased pre-recorded videos of the livers and also a few of the Nijisanji ENs greeting people to Anime Expo. Of course, pre-recorded. So we went in from this side. There was the statue of a few of the livers already there, but some of them didn't arrive. I do have to say that the statues are really, really good. They're very good quality. I couldn't get enough of that midriff there. But yeah, these were the statues that actually arrived on day 1. The others didn't. They didn't arrive until day 2, if I recall right. So most of the exhibit was just them showcasing figures of their livers. That was about it. Yeah, this place usually very empty. I could swing a bat, like full, like I could swing a home run in this exhibit and still not hit anything during these days. So yeah, just a huge advertisement for their figures. That was the extent of the Nijisanji exhibit. So yeah, this small lady over there with the Lenny art on the left side, that was the security. But then on day 2, the rest of the statues actually arrived, and I had to go in there, you know, just to be fair. Granted, there were more people here on day 2, but still not a lot. These are the 2 remaining statues that arrived, and I'm glad they did because they're awesome. Both of them are awesome. It almost feels like they're much higher quality than the Nijisanji N ones. The smaller versions of them. The Mito one, I believe, is like my favorite out of all of them. It's so good. I actually want one. And yeah, that was this. That was the Nijisanji exhibit. Some people call it the booth. I just called it an exhibit because that's what it was. They just showcased the figures there. And that was the extent of their appearance at Anime Expo, which is embarrassing because, again, huge industry event, one of the biggest opportunities to advertise yourself to anybody, to fans, to prospective investors. But nope, they dropped the ball on this one, canceled their concert, which was supposed to be a big event. But nope, that's what you get as a Nijisanji fan. That's what you get as an AniColor enthusiast over at Anime Expo 2024. But that's not everything. Do you remember the... again, not harassment, just a comparison thing. Do you remember the Hololive cosplay meetup photoshoot thing? Well, Nijisanji had their own cosplay meetup at least a couple of 100 yards away from the convention. over at a very open space. As I approach them like a wild animal towards my prey. And yes, I'm not even holding the phone in my stick. That's how small these people are. It's just a lot of youngsters at this Nijisanji cosplay meetup.
I was there.
Which I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Ball came out and was singing the fucking 14 forklifts barely.
But yeah, not many of them compared to the Hololive one. I don't know if they had a different one during the convention, but that's the one I managed to catch. So, you know, maybe there was another one that was bigger than this, so I don't know. But not many Nijisanji fans openly showed up, at least cosplaying. I'm sure there were more at the convention, just, you know, not open about it, because I know how it is. Like, admitting that you're a Nijisanji fan is like admitting you have AIDS in the 1980s. It's kind of not a good look, I imagine. But Niji sisters would never attend a convention live because they're just usually only online. Their antics do not work in real life, as you probably would have guessed. So yeah, that was the Nijisanji cosplay meetup that I managed to catch, at least. What else do I have for you? There's the industry lobby. See how fancy it is? You can just kind of take it easy, charge your phone, charge any of your device. Just take it easy on one of the sofas, one of the chairs there as well. They're so comfy and soft. You can sleep on them if you wanted to. Like, you can lie down on this place and just kind of, you know, pig out. Like, they don't care. You just do whatever there. As long as you weren't disrupting anything. You just relax, take it easy. Industry lounge, I give it a 10 out of 10. Plus free water, which is very, very welcome. Let's see what else do I have here. Have for you some miscellaneous stuff. There's the Arona fan I got. I got two. I gave one to my best friend after leaving the convention. Perhaps you want to see how big the crowds were. The entrance over the left side, there's the South Hall that you see. It's very busy during this point of the day. And I'm standing right to the side of the exhibit hall, on the right side here. Kind of packed, but not as packed as it used to be. At least as I remember it. A few more crowds. This is me standing in the South Hall lobby. See, very crowded. This is day 2, by the way, so It was very hard to navigate. Going left and right, back and or forwards, you just we're always in danger of bumping into somebody. Demon Slayer actually wasn't that prominent anymore. Even Jujutsu Kaisen was kind of small in comparison to other stuff. Frieren, Dungeon Meshi was pretty big during this year's Anime Expo. I saw so many Frierens. So many Frierens and Ferns.
You know where the back's going?
Let's see, what else? Blue Archive line. I need to show you this thing. This is Gunma-chan, a mascot for a prefecture. I think it wanted to fight me. It looked like it wanted to start something. See? I think it's taunting me. I think it wants to fight. But yeah, that was very cute. I enjoy these prefectural mascots that they sometimes have. Gunma-chan was very cute. What else do I have? An advertisement for Justice, Hololive's Justice. This is right next to the Hololive concert thingy. A very cool graffiti wall. And you may be wondering, why are there so few people over on this side? Well, because everyone is watching the concert right now. I'm just here taking a look at all other things that you could see. There's also this. This is the other side of the Hololive concert thingy, with a few other Hololive members, including Kobo there on the screen as well. And lastly, I think this is the last thing that I have to show you before I talk about the preacher and my anecdotal thing that I encountered. Here's your Christian preacher for the day, and I'll tell you some other stuff that they said on a different day.
And if I take this guy's advice and just say, oh, okay, I won't tell anybody anything and just let people have their fun, you would end up dead in your sins, and then when you're in hellfire, you're gonna be like, why didn't you tell the preacher to keep preaching? Why didn't you tell the preacher to keep going? I would have heard. I would have took it seriously. I would have repented. That's nasty, woman. That's so nasty that you would come out here with no...
I cut it off when he started to insult a woman, basically called a cosplayer a whore. That was funny. I think it was I think it was Ryuko cosplayer. Yeah, he called Ryuko cosplayer a whore and started badgering her about the way she dresses. The next day, in the morning, as I was going there to take a look at early morning stuff at the convention, the preachers were already there, and this guy, as I was walking by, he just went completely balls to the wall, fucking unhinged with slogans. As I was walking by, he just started spouting out things like, You will never be a woman. When archaeologists discover your skeleton, they will undoubtedly notice that you are a man. I'm saying word for word what he said. He just started spouting off like social media stuff that you usually get from bigoted people online. He went into a rant about gay people, that they're evil, that you should never kiss your sister, and I think he was just, I think he was just having a little laugh with his whole spiel there. I wish I could have recorded it because it was so fucking funny. Like, he just went completely fucking unhinged. He just started spouting all of very weird talking points that people have online in regards to being bigoted. Next time I hope he visits again, because the guy, being retarded aside, was pretty funny. But goddamn, was it an eventful Anime Expo? It was very fun. I had a lot of fun. VTubers were very present during the whole thing, and I enjoyed myself quite a bit. What else is there to say about it? Well, the thing I was saying at the beginning about, different companies with a lot of capital getting into VTubing. I don't know how that will affect, things going forward for Western VTubing, for English-speaking VTubing. But if they if they invest in people that actually know what they're doing with these people and these talents and these companies, then we might see another VTuber renaissance going. I mean, it's already kind of happening with the Brave Group buying out, Idol. And before you guys go, there's a thing I'd like to show you, and also the thing I'd like to direct you to. Here's a small chart about the Brave Group and what they're involved in. And they're involved in a lot of things, as you can probably tell from this small chart. It's a little bit hard to read, but as you can see, there's a lot of subsidiaries here. There's a lot of bigger investment publishers. There's a lot of investment companies also connected to it. But, if you don't want to decipher this chart, I'd like to direct you to a particular VTuber from Globey, which is Bonnie. Bonnie Barkswell, who had a whole stream about the Brave Group and what they actually are. Go watch Bonnie. She's pretty entertaining, and she did I would say a deep dive into what the Brave Group is, and you should go watch that. I think I'm gonna link you the stream to make it easier for you, so in case you want to know what the Brave Group is actually up to. Just give me a moment as I find the stream. Bonnie Barkswell, Brave. And I'm surprised the stream only has 3K views. She really deserves a lot more for this stream. It's not that much of a deep dive, but it explains a lot. There you go. You can watch it there via this link. And through that, you will learn a little bit about what is approaching VTubing in the West. I don't want to be a doom poster, don't want to blackpill anybody on anything. I'm just usually very careful with statements like that, because, not everything has to be all doom and gloom all the time. Who knows? Maybe some good things are gonna come out of this, and we're gonna get, new VTuber groups, new VTuber agencies that are just awesome. That will be able to entertain you for years to come. But yeah, this was my Anime Expo. And I know this stream is very impromptu. It's not on a day that I normally do streams. And from here on, I think I will have a little bit more time to do a lot more streams. there's a whole lot of shit that has happened in the month of July and also starting in August. There's a lot of things I want to talk to you about. Like, some things on my mind that I have right now are like what's been happening to Taiga for the last couple of years, pretty much, but it only escalated in like the last month because some unhinged person decided to report him to like every single thing to YouTube and even on Twitter. I probably want to cover that at some point. I know Taiga had a few stream about it in the last few days as well, even today. That's an interesting thing to talk about, especially the unhinged person that went after Taiga, because that's a whole person that would kind of be deserving of a stream because they're just completely insane. On a lighter note, a semi-known VTuber clipper, like a VTuber enthusiast and kinda, well, not kinda, a pervert, has been found out that he has been faking having a girlfriend, a cosplayer girlfriend, pretending to be her on social media. I'd like to cover that guy because that thing is not depressing. It's actually pretty fucking funny. That guy goes back with lolly VTubers as well. He wasn't an anti or anything like that. I wouldn't call him that, but he was involved in a very big controversy back in the day. 2021, I believe it was, like 3 years ago. Yeah, I remember things like that. On another, a little bit more serious note, there's a particular VTuber that has disappeared once from the scene and has come back under a different alias, and she's been before she disappeared, she has been suspect when it comes to a lot of different things that she said and did. Unfortunately, it was a lolly VTuber that was very suspect, and she kind of decided to run away from her previous identity because of the things that she said and the things that she was involved in, and start anew as something else. So at one point, as I gather a lot more material on her, I'd like to cover her as well. Because, doesn't matter what community you are in, if you're engaged in very suspect acts that may involve real kids, I do not fuck with that. And I have to let people know. I feel like it's my obligation to let people know to some degree what's happening behind the scenes. That's another thing I want to talk about at some point in time. I'll tell you who it is once I actually have all the information that I need. But yeah, that's a thing I want to talk about. I don't want to tell her name right now because I know she may be informed about this and she will just run away again. So I'm not playing all my cards at this point just yet. I will play them once this stream actually happens. And I'm at least sure at this point in time they're not involved with any real kids, so I hope that my information is correct on that one. So this is not something I have to do immediately. There's probably a little bit more time I have to prepare about for this, to present the information that I gathered over a few months in the most cohesive and coherent form. So yeah, that's what I want to do. What other streams would I want to do? Well, there's been new Niji Sister happenings. Hex fans, I don't know if you guys know this, but Hex Haywire, the Nijisanji and Liver, once again has the most well-adjusted fan base on the planet in the history of VTubing, as one of them has more recently faked suicide for fun or attention, or both. So on the tally of what Hex Haywire fans have done it includes 2 people cutting themselves until they bleed to show it to Hex, going after Hex personal information, harassing other VTubers because Hex told them that in a dream. In other words, they made it up in their heads. And now we have a Hex Haywire fan pretending to have committed suicide. Very fun. Very fun fan base you have there, Hex Haywire. I don't know how that could have happened. I wonder. It really gets the noggin jogging, as they say. But yeah, those are just a few topics they think about for streaming. I want to get more on this side of content creation because I will have a little bit more time going forward. And I want to see where this takes us. Where it takes me, in particular. We might do a little bit more fun streams like this one, you know, where it's not all terrible things that make me mad. We might do some very light-hearted streams if people are up for it at some point. But again, I like to keep my streams a little bit more organized than I have in the past, and still on the level that I expect from myself at least. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little VTuber recap from Anime Expo 2024. It was a lot of fun. And if it's like that next year, I would highly recommend it if you're a VTuber fan, because you're gonna get a lot of it. A lot out of it as a VTuber fan if at least Hololive decides to do something like they did this year. Or even your favorite indie VTubers. So highly recommended for VTuber fans. I couldn't say the same thing about Anime Expo in the previous years because VTubers were kind of a very small part of it, but it's not like that anymore. They're just growing and growing. So I like that. I like that a lot. And I enjoyed myself, which is pretty much the most important part of it. But yeah, thanks for stopping by to the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed the little sneak peeks at all the Blue Archive stuff as well. As a fan, I couldn't be neglectful of that. And I just had to show you. And I think I have one more thing to show you before I go. In regards to Blue Archive. I hope this is the thing. This is the Blue Archive line for the meet with the developers of the game and the cosplayers hired by the devs and by the publisher, just kind of lined up and greeted everybody. Very cute.
Get real comfy, but not too comfy.
The room was packed, by the way, like to complete capacity. Blue Archive was huge at Anime Expo, and I'm really glad for that. Even the developers themselves at their own panel didn't expect such a huge turnout, and I'm glad for them. It means they will focus on the English-speaking side of their fan base more, which is gonna give us a lot more events in the future and maybe some exclusive stuff as well. But yeah, for right now, that's everything I have to show you for today. I hope you guys take care. I hope you have a good evening, good day, good morning, wherever you find yourself in the world. Stay hydrated because it's summer in most parts of the world. Well, at least in half of it. And you know, stay off Twitter because it's fake and gay, and it's only good for porn. I will play you off with a nice song, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye bye.